always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Rest in God and say amen.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me.
I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. 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 I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. 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 God
Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I feel it too. You're a part of me, and I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I feel it too. You're a part of me, and I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I feel it too. You're a part of me, and I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too.
Welcome, everybody. We're at the Center for Spiritual Living, Napa Valley. It is so great to have you join us. The room may be empty, but it is full of spirit and light and love, and I hope you can feel it right where you are. Such a blessing to have you here with us. Such a blessing to have Diego with us here. He's going to start us off today. Let's welcome him for a couple of our community chants. If you know them, please sing along with them. Blessing to have you here today.
Jump in with us and sing some songs, and let's get that spirit moving. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. Yeah. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together in unity and love.
Thank you, Diego. Unity and love. I think that's all something for us to feel today. As part of not only this community that gathers this morning virtually, but also an expanded community. So we welcome not only those people that are regularly here on Sundays, but those people here in the Valley who maybe haven't been here in a while or haven't been here at all, and beyond the Valley, of all states in the nation and perhaps even internationally. So we welcome you today, a special welcome, and I hope you join us on Sundays as well as we're doing daily meditations and on Wednesday evening. So good to have you here, Diego. Thanks for being here. We've also got Alex in the back helping us with technical things. We really appreciate everything he's doing back there. So let's give him a little round of applause also. So blessings that he is. We like to begin each service with our vision and mission statement, and hopefully you know that by heart. And there might be a way that we're able to see it online, I'm not sure. But our vision, we say together, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. Glorious affirmation for us. And for us as a worldwide vision at this time of challenges that we have, that we know. We also want to encourage and thank you for support you have at the Center for Spiritual Living, financially as well as your prayers. I always say that we'll pray for you and you pray for us at this time, that we continue this prayer. Know that you can request prayers online off our website, and we'll be glad to be praying for you during this time, as well as that we appreciate your prayers for us and for all people at this time, as well as your financial giving. You can find buttons on Facebook to donate, or also off our website, or if it's a continual giving, you're welcome to send us checks or bill pay. So we certainly appreciate that in all ways. And as we just open up to this sacred part of our service, in time of prayer and meditation, please join us.
Still my mind, be at peace. In my awakening, I release with my heart, free my soul. In my awakening, I am whole. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti.
So we just take this time to center into the truth of who we are. A divine being at all times, all places. That's connected to the universal presence of oneness. This moment we let go of any concerns we have, even for a few moments, and just rest in knowing that God is here, God is everywhere. Wherever we are, God is. We can have a conversation with God of our concerns and worries and know that it is heard. And we let them go and just rest in knowing that there is a divine order, a divine action happening through the conditions in the worldwide. That we know it is happening, and we trust that for ourselves and for others. And we know that there is a healing happening on this planet. There's a healing happening within us that is based in the very nature of spirit. that's not based on any one person or thing or situation, but instead this God that's within us, that it's this healing force that needs to happen in a natural and divine right order. And we know that is happening. We just trust it is happening. And we allow ourselves to relax in this, knowing that we do our part and we know that God is and God will always be. So we affirm our own health, our own radiant health within us as being so in this moment. And we listen to the sound of the bowl as we take a moment of silence. And so it is.
All that I see, all that I do, all that I am is created by you. All that I see, all that I do, all that I am is created by you. Nothing outside of your circle, nothing outside of your sight, nothing outside of your circle, everything shines your light. Whatever I know to be true. Whatever I wonder, I answer in you. Whatever I know to be true. Whatever I wonder, the answer is you. Nothing outside of your circle, nothing outside of your sight, nothing outside of your circle, everything shines your light. Every song that I sing, you are everything. Every last melody, you are everything. Every prayer that I say, you are everything. Every night, every day, you are everything. Whom do I love? Open up to. Whom do I worship? My God, always you. Whom do I love and give myself to? Whom do I worship, my God? Only you. Nothing outside of your circle, nothing outside of your sight, nothing outside of your circle. Everything shines your light. Every song that I sing, you are everything. Every last melody, you are everything. Every prayer I say, you are everything. Every night, every day, you are everything. Every breath that I breathe, you are everything. Every word that I speak, you are everything. Every night that I see, you are everything. Every thought, every dream, you are everything.
Oh, thank you, Diego. I think that just reminds us so much that it is everything. We are everything. So thank you. Thank you so much for being there, for that presence of life. So what I know in this moment, that you are everything, that we are everything, that we are the blessings in life that we know. And as we go forward, wherever you are, that life is good. Life is abundance. Life is creative. That nothing ever changes, even in the time we have. These are challenging times, there's no doubt about that. And sometimes we just can't find our center. And yet we know that the same tools that we've used, the same awareness that we have, the same mindfulness we have, still plays into who we are right now. Whether we be among children who are home from school and there's a little more challenge to get the lessons done with them and find things for them to do, or whether we are with our spouse or loved one or by ourselves. There are all challenges in all of that. And what I know is Spirit is right where you are. Now, I have a whole talk today, and I'll get to it in time. But I think also it's worth it to spend some time taking things a little lighter, considering the situations. So I did have a few little puns for you today. Now, the first thing I want to say is that some jokes about the coronavirus may take you a little time to get, like maybe 2 weeks. That was the joke. There are so many coronavirus jokes out there. It's a pandemic. Now, I'm not going to tell any toilet paper jokes because they're a little crass, plus they're only funny if you actually have toilet paper. If you don't, it's not funny at all. What's the difference between COVID-19 and Romeo and Juliet? One's the coronavirus and the other is a Verona crisis. Why do they call it a novel coronavirus? It's a long story. Nail and hair salons are closed. Everybody's true colors are going to be showing up soon. Finland just closed its borders. You know what that means? No one will be crossing the finish line. You know what they're saying about 2020? It went viral faster than anyone thought it would. What do you call panic buying of sausage in Germany? The worst case scenario. Like worst, W-U-R-S-T. Yeah. And the grocery stores in France look like their shelves are ravaged just like here. All the cheese is gone. All that's left is debris. Debris, cheese, yeah, okay. I have to explain this because I'm not sure if you're getting that at home or not there. You know what they say? Feed a cold, starve a fire, and drink a Corona. If Corona isn't about beer, why do they keep talking about cases of it? And what did the man say to the bartender? I'll have a Corona, hold the virus. A virus walked into the bar, left because nobody was there. And that's the whole idea. There's no host or hostess in our bars and restaurants right now. As hard as that may be, challenging, we like to be out, we like to be social, and there's ways to connect on a deeper level. As I like to say, the lights are on and everybody is at home. We also have to remember, be inspired by the thoughts of John Lennon, who said everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. And we know, we can trust in Spirit and know things will be, in the end, okay. They will turn out for the better, for the good. There will be things coming out of it. At times we may not know what that good is that's coming out of it. There's still some things that are apparent already. And maybe us having a slower life, maybe being able to work from home more often, being able to, find a way to integrate our work, our social, our family, our spiritual life together and more, instead of it being so, this is my work, this is my friendships, this is my spiritual work. Maybe there's an integration of things, and maybe we can practice that now. And maybe we don't have to be as dependent on certain ways of doing things, of pushing our own inner self to get things done. Maybe there's a resilience, a inner strength in us that allows us to get things done without being that outer strength. And it's interesting because that's exactly what I'm talking about today, this whole month, about the divine feminine, because it is the divine masculine that is pushing more, that is the outer push, and the divine feminine that is the inner resilience, the inner strength, the inner compassion. And I think it's that we need to rely on. So I think it's perfect that we're talking about this month to allow us to see a different way of doing things. What I also know about this valley, this community and this valley, is that we have gone through other challenges before. And we do crisis as well. We'd like not to have to do them so often, but we do them well. But what's unique about this situation is usually we're coming together as a body, as a community, as a Napa together, that we do things together. We're still able to do that, but it's in consciousness. It's in the heart and the love of what we're doing. So we're still doing this resilience. We're still this strength. We just have to do it in different ways. And it's encouraging that people are finding their resilience. They're doing little things, helping people out who can't go run those errands. They're running errands for them. There's people that are making their own mask that people can wear. There's people that are supporting causes like the Napa Valley Community Foundation, the Food Bank, in different ways, and that we continue to support the strength we are, and we will rise again. We do this well. We'll come back. There will be a time past this. I know we can't see what that time is right now. I don't know when we'll come back together as a community. I'm hoping May. We will see how this all plays out, but I can see us coming back together in our courtyard, even if chairs are spread out, and having services outside and just enjoying the beauty. And the truth is, spring is happening. It's not contained by our experiences at all. It's popping everywhere. In fact, the tree out front of the center is starting to bloom, and we know, and to me, that's the inspiration. The divine order is continuing to happen. No matter what our experience is in terms of our own situation, there's a divine order. You know, the sun is continuing to have its planets orbit around it, and the solar system is still moving, and the whole universe, there is a divine order happening, and we can trust that it will continue and is continuing right now. So as I mentioned today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the divine feminine, particularly today about spirit is in every expression of life. I thought about abandoning this whole topic, but I think it's a good topic to have because it's an opportunity for us to see how each of us in our own way are finding ways to cope with a situation. It has everything to do with who we are. Now, when I talk about spirit is every expression, I'm not necessarily saying spirit in every expression or through every expression. It is every expression. And that's hard to understand in some ways, but we know that everybody has a unique race, culture, faith, orientation, a biological gender, gender identity, and sometimes we see the humanness being led first in an expression, and we have to look for the divine. But what I want to encourage us to do is know the divine is there from the very beginning. That doesn't mean that we always know or understand somebody's expression. We don't have to understand it to know the Spirit is in it. You know, I have questions about churches, particularly the ones in the larger mega churches that are continuing to meet. I judge that and criticize that, but the truth is there's divine there. I don't have to understand that to know what they're receiving out of that. Marshall Rosenberg, who started the movement for nonviolent communication, or compassionate communication as it's called now, talked about that every word spoken and every action is an expression of a need. And he goes on to say, yes, criticism, judgment, insults, violence, abuse are tragic expressions, but they're still expressions. And I would take the step further and say they're divine expressions. Think of it as water that we drink. Now, we know this water that we drink, we want it to be as pure as possible, just like the divine. So when we drink it, we want it to taste clear. We want it to be not have any added things in it that might hurt us, any kind of chemicals or minerals, not be polluted, for instance. So we filter it, we distill it to try and find it. But the truth is, even if it was fully polluted, even if you just pulled it right out of the Napa River, it would still have that purity of water is still in there. That divine essence is still in there. And when we receive what we hear or see or experience someone, we can drink of their divinity because it is their expression, is a divine expression no matter what. Even if we don't understand it, it doesn't make it so. We don't have to understand it to know that. And what got this whole topic started a month ago, before we even knew all of the experiences we're having now, was a discussion at Centers for Spiritual Living about the way in our lives sometimes the culture we identify with, or the orientation we identify, or even the gender we identify can change. It can shift. And it doesn't mean it's one way for the rest of our lives. It could shift multiple times in our lives, simply because as we explore our lives, we come from different cultures and we might explore one. Or orientation may switch for us. And also gender. And I know when I first heard, about 10 years ago, when I first began to hear teenagers and young adults talk about gender fluidity, and changing how they identified in a gender, or in some cases the way they always felt and were finally talking about it. How some people identified as queer, which was a term for me, was a derogatory term from my adolescence. So I sought to understand that, and as I heard, not only there were many people challenged that were middle-aged, who were challenged by understanding, and even people that were gays and lesbians, because orientation is different than gender identity. There are two different factors there. And what was interesting is, while some people were challenged with it, some people, straight and gay, were so happy that finally we were talking about it, because it was something they were experiencing all their life. It wasn't like something that just suddenly came. And so it became something that we could seek to understand somebody's experience about it. And the challenge they have. I have a friend who is a trans man. I've spoken about him before, but just to bring him back into this discussion, I think it's important. He was identified at birth by a doctor as a girl, but in his mind and heart, his whole life, he was a boy. And what's sad is that he was actually punished verbally and physically for acting like a boy. And he continued as he grew up. He married a woman, and while married to this woman, he actually transitioned to be a man. And what was beautiful, this woman who loved him dearly from the day they got married, continued to love him, and maybe even more. Maybe her love deepened because now she was inspired by his courage to be his authentic self. And they're still happily married today. He's actually one of our ministers and centers for spiritual living. And he was at a community. He had been accepted by the selection committee to be the minister there, and they knew his story. But in the third or fourth Sunday he was there, he shared his story with the community, and there was a reaction, a negative reaction by some of the community members. It was even a threat of violence. And when he was telling me the story, I said I was surprised by that. And he goes, "That you're surprised because you're a straight white man." And first I was taken back by that, but by his anger about it almost, not necessarily at me, but at the situation. I understood that, but I continued to listen, and I heard his stories of childhood that I mentioned before, that he was physically abused for acting like a boy. And it was eye-opening for me to understand that for him. And he was right. I am white, I am straight, I am a man. And so I didn't have perspective on that. So how good it is that we, as conscious beings in this community, are willing to take the time to listen to somebody on an empathetic way, to understand, not in a, yes, you're curious, but not in a investigative reporter kind of way. More about, you're curious about their experience. You don't need the details, but you want to know about their experience of life and how their challenges, especially during these times. So as we reach out to people during these times, how are you doing? What is your experience? So, how is this affecting your day-to-day life? What are your challenges? How can I support you? What can I hold for you in prayer? And that's the understanding of it at all. You might have also heard about Janet Mock, who has been on Oprah and different things. She wrote a book called Redefining Realness, My Path to Womanhood, Identity, Love, and so much. She was born identified as a boy, named after his father, Charles Mock, who was an African American. But her mother was Hawaiian, half Portuguese, so already she had these mixtures of cultures that she had trouble with identifying. And she always said, as she made the transition to being a woman, she said she always felt like a girl. And when people interviewed her, they would describe her as she grew up a boy. But she said, I didn't grow up a boy. I was identified as a boy by a doctor when I was born, but I grew up as a girl, always feeling that I was a girl. So at 18, when I did the reconstructive surgery, it was just becoming more of who I was, because I was always this girl. And so we can recognize this truth of who people are, that their expression, whatever it is divine and perfect just the way it is, that we don't recognize somebody as, we don't want to be gender neutral or cultural, race blind, in terms of we see people as race. We want to know who they are. We want to know their unique expression, because there is not categories by their race, their gender, their orientation, their faith. That's not defined by that at all. It's defined by their uniqueness that they are, so we let them be, and we're willing to take the risk to let them tell us who they are, to ask them, what kind of pronoun do you want to be known by? He, she, or some people today want to be known as they and them, which, they're singular persons, so the English teacher in me is confused by that. But the truth is, this is a way, a personal way of identifying them when they are gender fluid. And what's interesting is in Genesis, the original stories about God was identified as they and them, as a plural, because we don't identify God as a he or a she, and it that we do sometimes here is a little impersonal, so maybe they and them is appropriate for that as well. And we also know through this, what inspires me when I talk about this is it allows us to be our true self. To stand in our truth of who we are and be willing to be authentic, courageous, and powerful. Not defined by our race, culture, gender, or gender identity, but defined by the Spirit in us and this unique being that we are. The author and blogger extraordinaire Glennon Doyle said, "Stop trying to be this, a good that, and just be who you are." We can let go of expectations and shoulds and the supposed tos that the world gives us and just honor who we actually are and have always been, which is this divine expression, this divine truth we are. She herself, if you know much about her story, she was married to the perfect man, the perfect marriage, the perfect life. She was this humorous blogger about family, with Christian values that she wove into it, but in a humorous way. She had millions of followers, and then she found out her husband that was perfect was not so perfect. And it set her into self-exploration where she discovered more about herself. She ended up dating a woman and marrying her and having this life that was more true to who she was, and had a deeper relationship with Spirit in the process. So to hear her talk about this too, to let go of these expectations, I think is really important for us right now. Because here we are, sequestered at this time that we have. This time of sometimes if we have a family with kids and we're supposed to be doing homework with them and helping them, or we're supposed to have these time of like perfect meditation times. Yes, we're going deeper with Spirit. Well, we do some of that, but the truth is we also need to be lighter with ourselves because we are under incredible stress, incredible confusion, and trying to understand the world. And I will tell you, it's important to keep up with the news, but the news is not going to tell you everything you need to know right now. Because within you there is a resilience, a divine clarity, divine power that is your truth. We don't want someone else to define what that truth is. You need to find it within yourself, this understanding, what Mirabai Starr would call resilience, because it's this core self, this core being. So right now, while you're taking care of everything there is in your life, because everything, even going shopping for food is a bigger deal than it used to be. Everything is a bigger deal. So I would encourage you just to give yourself a break. Let yourself be sometimes. Just let yourself catch up with everything within you. Don't be so hard on yourself. Define this inner resilience. Define this deeper connection that you can find, and also define your inner voice, the one that is clear and powerful and true, that opens you up to the truth of who you are. And the truth is, you already know who that is, but it's easy to forget right now. Your kids might not learn as much as they would at school. You might not be as productive during your what's it called now? WFH, working from home time. Every minute with your spouse or with friends online might not be this deeper revelation of life. It might be just, how are you doing right now? Are you doing okay? Ernest Holmes says that out of a vast universality, the spirit is individualized as spirit, soul, and body in a unique way as each of us. It is the giving of oneself to every person, every project, every association with zest, love, and friendliness that one sees the larger possibility of all things. Beauty instead of ugliness, love instead of hate, the divine hidden within the human. And that is this expression that we talk about. In closing, I just want to talk about this poem that I keep coming back to called Pandemic by the San Francisco poet Lynn Unger. Because I think it continues to give us some inspiration about this life. She says, what if you thought of this time as the Jews considered the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, be, have fun with those around you. Reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are both terrifying and beautiful. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Reach out with your heart. Reach out with your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world our love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we shall be connected with Spirit. So we know this to be the truth, and this is the truth we live out of. God bless you right where you are, and know that we are holding you in prayer right where you are. Thank you for being you. I'd like to invite Diego up to sing a song here. One of my favorite songs he sings, and I'm going to let him sing me into this time of prayer that we have.
One power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Maula, angel's wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me.
Yeah, one power. We know that to be the truth. Feel that inside of you. There's one power. That is all there is. And that is what we resonate with in this time. We know the truth of who we are. We are connected with Spirit in a deep, deep way. And we know that life is perfect in its expression with every human, through all of life, through all things that are happening through us. It is all good, all God, connected and open and true with who we are. And for this we are so, so grateful now. So, so grateful. And so it is.
And so it is. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in our heart we're all the same. We remember once we close our eyes and see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Maula, Hashim, or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, and it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's the everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby. The serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon. It's the love that's most deep. It's one power. What we are is one. Oh, it's the power of the love. It's forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me.
Wow. Thank you, Diego. Boy. I need to hear that today. I think I may take this video and watch it again this week, and you're welcome to do that on YouTube. I know it'll be available. And what a wonderful message. I think that one that we need to continue to remember the truth of who we are today. Please know, once again, I just want to say that we're here for you. The practitioners and I are, it's our purpose, our meaning in life to pray for you. So please allow us to do that. Send prayers in. The link is on the webpage, or just send me an email, revj@nbcsl.com, and we're glad to pray for you. And likewise, please pray for us in that way. We'll pray for you, and you pray for us in that way. We appreciate you continuing to support us through giving during these times when there are so many challenges. So thank you so much. We'd like to be, at the end of the service, we invite our children up, and we invite them up to the stage up here. And I just want to do this for all the children out there that we have, whether they're home with you or grandchildren, or they're in another home near you. We just are going to say the same thing we always say. So we're going to raise our hand, and I'll pause after each one. In case you don't know it, you can say after me. So we see you, we care about you, and we're here for you. And so it is.
So it is.
And also we do the community affirmation that we love so much. So we're also going to raise our hands and repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I'm led by Spirit.
I am led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I am guided by wisdom.
I am protected by love.
I am protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
And so it is.
So it is. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making
Thank you, Diego. Thank you, community. Thank you, life and spirit. We are making this new life by being our true self and expressing it and recognizing the divinity of all expressions. And so it is.
So it is.
Have a blessed week.